So what are some of the promises that your party intends to bring to bear? Why should they elect your candidate for the job?
In terms of what can we do for the people? Wow. A good example, the gubernatorial candidate has already said when he's elected as the governor, he is not going to take any salary for the entire duration. And that means that money will plow back into development. Second, he says...
How's that going to work? He's just going to be there for free?
Well, he has enough resources already to keep him going during the time of his being the governor of our state. The second most important thing also is that education is going to be free at all levels, primary, secondary, and tertiary. He's going to rebuild all the hospitals and do the roads that are very key to the economy of the states. At the representational level, let me start from myself. Because of my international reach, with my constituency project allowance, I should be able to recruit international funding for my constituency. For every naira I get, unless I'm sure that I'll multiply that by 5. For 20 years of international development work, I know where the money is internationally. I know how to attract that. This is the kind of this thing that we're bringing. In my own constituency too, very easily we could introduce free maternal health care, and then also comprehensive health insurance for under 5s and every pregnant and expectant woman. So these are the kind of snippets of things that we're sure there's going to come. There's going to be a lot of infrastructural development. In our campaign, trying to have a covenant with the people, one of the key sessions is, if we get in, what do you expect us to do for you? And you know, Chamberlain, the thing that people say, half of the time I'm in tears. They're not talking about build a university, do any hyper-Fallopian thing. They're talking about basic social infrastructural needs. And I say rank it 1, 2, 3. The first thing they say is roads. They want access roads to their homes and to their farms. The second they say is water, potable drinking water. And the third one they say is electricity. Rigidly, that is the ranking. In some, they might exchange electricity with employment for the youth. So you could see that people are actually asking for the basic needs. To impress our people, to make them feel that they have a feeling that there's a government. They are talking about basic social infrastructural needs. And any sensible government should be able to provide. And that we can easily do.
Even though the current party will always say that, well, all candidates will always come and campaign and tell you what has not been done, but they always keep saying, yes, we've done this, we've built roads, we've built schools, we've built hospitals, we've put water in some places, and they will always argue that, look, you can't do all of these things everywhere in such a short time. Do you disagree with that?
I completely disagree. Let me give you an example. The world is ruled by ideas, not really the amount of money you have in your hand. With good ideas, you can attract funding. In international development work, we have seen it several times. If you have good infrastructural needs, you can approach the World Bank. You can get very good loans with long moratorium to help you. Even if you're going to toll the roads, let's say you're going to toll the roads, you should be able to recover some of the resources and pay back very low interest rates. However, for you to access all those resources, you must show that you have good governance values within your leadership scheme. Without that, you can't attract a dime. And we're saying that almost all the candidates in Abia have that kind of background and pedigree to be able to attract. When I was the country director of IPAS, I never wrote any proposal I didn't get money from the donors, because I have a track record of integrity and managing their resources, getting much more results than that was on the outcome indicator sheet. Same thing goes for Dr. Alex Oti. He took Diamond Bank from the 15th position to the 5th position in just 3 years. So there's a track record of achievements. So we feel that, and one thing people do not know, government has such awesome goodwill. Government has the biggest goodwill that is bankable, if I use that word. So it's very, very interesting when we see governments not able to provide the minimum social needs of the people. The reason why some of us came into politicking, seeking leadership of others, is because we have watched over the years with so much dismay that things that you feel that are so simple is not done. Let me give you a few examples. First, for me, the main thing that made me make a switch, 4 years ago, if you had told me, are you going to be a politician, I said, are you out of your mind? But when you query yourself, you do so much out there, and you come to your own country, in your backyard, nothing is going on. We were losing about 55,000 women every year from maternal mortality. And when I did a desk review of all the government write-ups on why women were dying, and with my field experience, we were working in 19 states in Nigeria at the point, it became so obvious to me that the reason why women were dying was because there were no midwives. In the rural areas, where 80% of the deaths were occurring. And that was how I conceptualized the midwifery service scheme, with 6 key elements. But it took me 3.5 solid years to convince our government that's the best way. But when they did, and thank God for President Jonathan, when he did, and it was funded through the Millennium Development Goals resources, what happened? Maternal mortality dropped within 4.5 years by more than 50%. It's never happened anywhere in the world. So it was just an idea. There was no extra money put in. It's just a strategy. So these are the things that we're talking about. This country has so much resources. And when I also looked at the amount of money coming in from development partners into the country, it's less than 1% of our GDP. So the growth area is in government.
Well, let's get back to security, because I mean that's going to be very important this weekend when every Nigerian goes out to vote in different parts of the country. Has your party, did they really follow up in terms of the letter they wrote to the security chiefs concerning providing security on that day? Because one would imagine that if they did write that letter, given the state situation of things at the moment, they should get a response.
Yes, like there is a group that's handling the security. We're supposed to have a meeting tomorrow for us to be able to confirm what security assurances we have now received from the security forces. And I'm sure they're going to give that, because the reason why I say so is that I don't think anybody in his right mind will want to be associated with brutalizing the public. Now, you can see how things are. Everything is fluid in the country now. Anything can happen. There's a presidential election, there's a change in governance, leadership at the national level. So if somebody like our president, Jonathan, could, even before the results all came in, could pick up the phone and call the president-elect, it means there's a new dawn. It's never happened in Africa, not talk of Nigeria, that the sitting president agreed that, yes, I've lost the election, I wish you well. Do you know the soothing effect that had in the polity? And that's why he will remain one of the greatest statesmen in life. So what I'm also saying is that as we go into the polls come 11th of April, I want people to allow the will of the people to prevail. If they lose, they can be a hero by being a Jonathan again. This is what we're saying. And so whether we make any security arrangements or not make any security arrangements, if somebody really wants to really be violent, there's nothing that can stop him. Maybe, probably, when the people march against him or her. All
right, we'll hope that all ends well and that the authorities respond. Maybe they even have, but maybe by the time you have the meeting tomorrow, you should be able to get updates about all of those. Well,
sure.
Dr. Ejike Oji is a spokesperson for the All Progressive Grand Alliance, Abia, also a candidate for the Federal House of Reps in the just concluded elections. Thank you for coming on today.
Thank you, Chamberlain.
All right, we'll be back after the break. We'll have another perspective on this same matter. Join us again.